Hello friends, this is Terry with the Taurus Partial Solar Eclipse that's happening on April 30th, and the Eclipse Portal is open as of this new moon in Taurus, and the Eclipse Portal will be on that Taurus Scorpio axis for all of 2022. And we are already soaking in the energy of this Taurus Scorpio rebirth time. And I have been so busy right now. I'm working on the Spring Bend Health Guide, and I really don't have time to do this epic eclipse report, but this is an epic eclipse, so how could I not? You know, that's kind of the energy of this eclipse time. It's that push-pull. I got this to do, that to do, just being, you know, Taurus, Earth. Get grounded in what you need to do. And I find the key to success in life is to show up and be consistent. And even though I have other things I need to be working on, I just want to show up for myself and show up for the astrology reports and be consistent. And there's no way in heck I want to miss an eclipse astrology report. So I'm here on the river with my beautiful husband filming this, and I want to let you know about all the eclipses we're going to have in 2022. We have April 30th, this partial solar eclipse on the Taurus new moon with Taurus moon and sun. And May 15th or 16th, depending where you live, we will have a total lunar eclipse in Scorpio. Scorpio is the dragon's tail, south node of the moon this year. And then on October 25th, we will have another partial solar eclipse in Taurus. And on November 7th, which just happens to be my birthday, we will have once again a total lunar eclipse in Scorpio. So if you are a Scorpio, if you are a Taurus, if you have your north node in Taurus or Scorpio, raise your hand. I want to hear from you in the comments. I know you're feeling this. I am a Scorpio. My husband Bill has Scorpio rising, and he has North Node Scorpio. We're definitely soaking in it. And I have a lot of Taurus friends that are going through big upheaval, life changes. This is going to be a real time of huge changes. And I'm going to teach you how to align with the energy of this eclipse so that you can do well during this time of total transformation. And I just have to read this quote from Albert Einstein that says, "As the area of light expands, so does the perimeter of darkness." I just got to read that again. I just really got to soak that in. As the area of light expands, so does the perimeter of darkness. Albert Einstein said that, and he, brilliant Pisces that he was, so intuitive. I wish that he was here today to see all that is going on and how true his words are in this moment. This Taurus Scorpio Nodal Axis brings an increase in light energy as we re-emerge in this process that is birth, life, death, transformation, and rebirth. We are really in the rebirth cycle, and I'm doing the Spring Bend Health Guide. Our whole theme is rebirth, and I have this beautiful goddess who is pregnant in a wedding dress with flowers, and we wanted to do it at Pronghorn and have her coming out of the cave. I just thought that would be so cool, coming out of a cave of darkness into the light, pregnant, like spring, flowers blooming. But the weather, when we had to do the photo shoot, it was just too icy, too dark, too cold. Sometimes you just got to give up your creative idea and just go with what looks good on film and magazine. But in my mind, this spring guide will always have this image of a pregnant woman emerging from a dark cave. That is the vibe I am feeling with this eclipse portal in the Taurus Scorpio Nodal Axis. And Taurus is that light re-emerging, rebirthing, and Scorpio is that shadow of darkness that is also growing. and they are growing at the same speed. It's like the light is getting brighter, but the darkness is getting more intense and more scary. And Scorpio, of course, South Node, Dragon's tail of this whole eclipse cycle. We're going to have those, all 4 of those eclipses on this axis. Every year we have a series of around 4 eclipses. This is nothing new, but it is always flavored by whatever signs the eclipse goes in. So this year it's all about Taurus, the bull, and Scorpio, the shadow. And as we go through this eclipse portal, I will be right here for you to guide you as we go through all the changes, and we will all be transformed. Our world will be transformed. Taurus rules the earth, and so we can be sure that there will be some earth transformations this year. And I cannot wait to find out what is going to come of all of this. And it's like we're reading a really good novel right now. You just can't put it down. It's about to become a page turner, people. And eclipses always happen a few times a year, as I said. And this time we have Taurus, the bull. And I think of a bull in a china shop, right? Taurus is a fierce, powerful energy that is just charging right at us, knocking everything over. And this first eclipse, we also have Uranus in Taurus at 14 degrees, sandwiched right in between the sun and moon at 10 degrees of Taurus. And then there's that north node at 22 degrees of Taurus. And so Uranus is this swift moving planet that always brings unexpected events like storms, tornadoes, hurricanes. And when Uranus is in Taurus, it's earth related. And we are already seeing all these crazy things happening on Earth. And eclipses always have this fast moving quantum leap energy where if you've been trying to accomplish something, you might suddenly just do it. I know I'm really trying to write a Reiki book right now, and suddenly it's like, no, I just have to do it. I can't keep putting this off. Like there's a quickening in time and things are speeding up now, which I've been feeling really for all of April. How about you? Are you feeling time is speeding up now? And if you are a North Node Taurus or a South Node Scorpio, this solar eclipse may just find you at a crossroads in your life, or it will open a new doorway into your life. Something may just come up completely out of your control that strongly influences your trajectory forward. And you may uncover your hidden desires or just have an epiphany about what you really want to do with your one precious life. And you might finally do that thing that you've always wanted to do. And you might just start something brand new, like a new job, a new relationship, or travels, writing a book, or creating something out of nothing. Even if you don't know where life is heading you, something is coming in now. And with this eclipse, that's going to get you on a new path forward. This is a time of endings and new beginnings. If you are a Taurus or a Scorpio, or you have that North Node Scorpio, I know quite a few of you who have that North Node Scorpio. I think if you were born in 1976, you're feeling it too. And a couple of you who watch regularly, I know you're 1976 babies. But anyways, my advice to you, if you are Scorpio, Taurus, North Node, South Node, Scorpio, or Taurus, just surrender to the process or be dragged. That's your choice. Surrender to the process or be dragged, because this is going to come and like a bowl in a china shop, it's going to totally erupt your life. And it can be the best thing if you can just trust the process, taking those deep breaths, going with the flow, seeing what is coming up and not getting too emotionally charged by whatever happens. Just allow things to change and try to go along with it with grace and ease as best you can. If you fight it, it's only going to be harder for you. So really, surrender and trust the process. And this year, we are definitely seeing more death and destruction. That's Scorpio. And transformation. These are all Scorpio lessons. And I am a Scorpio myself, and the things that Scorpios go through in life, you know, we make it look easy, but it's not. Lots of Scorpios have gone through major transformations that would floor most people. But like the phoenix rising from the ashes, Scorpio is really good at going through tragedy, going through some really difficult situations, and then rising up that much stronger. So we can all heed that lesson from Scorpio. It's like whatever you are going through, whatever doesn't kill you only makes you stronger, as the song says. So just go with the flow, get through the process, and know at the same time we have all this like tragedy and crazy chaos energy, we also have this new higher vibrational energy that is coming in. It's like a cosmic energy that's just been pouring in. I don't know if any of you are feeling an increase in energy vibrations. I definitely, as a Reiki master teacher and somebody who's very empathic to energy, I have been feeling just a lot of energy coming in. I've been having crazy like chimes ringing in my ears, especially sometimes in the middle of the night. And a lot of healers call that, and light workers call this ascension symptoms. And I'm so curious if any of you are having any ascension symptoms. Some other things are like waking up in the middle of the night just fully charged, ready to go. And it can also be headaches, dehydration, just trouble sleeping in general. There's a lot of physical, I want to do a whole nother video on ascension symptoms because it is a real thing, and our whole world is increasing energetically. If you follow the Schumann resonance at all, there's actual scientific, factual information that the energy and the sound vibration that the earth puts off is actually getting louder and stronger right now, which is a sign of more energy pouring in. Maybe it's just me though. Maybe it's because I've been doing too much Reiki. I've been sending a lot of distance Reiki lately. I'm getting really into it. I'm actually writing a Reiki book right now with this energy. Maybe that's my Scorpio eclipse energy. I just want to write. And as I write, I send distance Reiki, and it really has been increasing my energetic vibration personally. But this is all part of that beautiful Taurus rebirth energy. It's like a spring morning when you just have so much hope and optimism and energy coming in, and spring is such a fertile time. And I know so many Taurus who are incredibly fertile, creative people. So we can really tap into this Taurus creative energy that's coming in right now. And Taurus is ruled by the planet Venus, of course, and Venus is right now, she just went through that whole retrograde, and then she rose up as morning star and conjuncted Mars. She's on a bit of a journey, and then she's going to conjunct Jupiter, and I just did a whole separate transit about that. But Venus is in Pisces right now, and Venus is exalted in Pisces. I think of Venus like a queen when she is in Pisces. So I wore a tiara when I did my Venus report. That's going to be a separate transit. You'll have to look for that one. And make sure you like and subscribe so you can get all these astrological transits. We are going into a summer full of astrology, and I would love to teach you more about it. But I just picture her with this crown just shining her golden light right now during this eclipse. Venus is just giving off her most divine love energy right now, and it just taps right into our hearts and expands our love and compassion. And this energy was so beautifully illustrated by Jon Batiste at the Grammys. That man is an absolute inspiration to us all. His light may be shining the brightest of anyone right now. After he won, I listened to him talk on all the interviews. I bought his album. I listened to the music. I seriously got high on Jon Batiste. He embodies this absolute duality of the Scorpio Taurus axis better than anyone right now, as his wife is going through a tough healing, crisis, transformation at the exact same time that he is emerging and as this shining star for us all to worship. And worship is such a Scorpio thing. And we can all just bask in John's music now and receive his divine energy that he is sharing so freely with our world. And his incredible dance moves, but most of all, it is his joy. That joy that is born even out of his darkest sorrow, as the love of his life is sick and suffering. He still picks himself up every day, and he shines his love so bright for all of us in this world. And he embodies everything that is both Scorpio and Taurus, and everything that is this Venus rising as morning star now in Pisces. And John's music is powerful medicine for our times. And if you don't know it, just go rush out and buy his We Are album right now, because these songs are the sweet medicine we need to hear right now. And I've been playing this non-stop. He must have infused so much energy so deeply into this music that you can feel it. Along with his family members from ages 7 to 97, I think there's just so much beauty in his artistry, and that is pure Venus to be found. And I'd love to do his chart right now. That's like on my to-do list. I just want to go, and all the other things I need to do, but I just want to go do John Baptiste's astrology chart, because I love how he says we are golden, you can shine. His lyrics inspire. I wish he had a church and he would just sing and play his music live every Sunday. Now that's a church I would go to. He is just Venus, the ruler of Taurus, exalted right now in Pisces. And Venus will conjoin with Jupiter, as I was saying, on this exact eclipse day of April 30th, with Neptune still hanging close by in Pisces too, and Mars will be in Pisces as well. There is so much magic with this stellium of planets lining up in the mystical, magical sign of Pisces. We're going to have some magical babies born on this day. And I have 3 prenatal clients right now who are due on May Day. And those kids are going to be amazing healers. And Venus rules love, beauty, and Jupiter is all about expansion, faith, hope, and wealth. So this is an auspicious aspect to this eclipse that will really soften the Taurus, the bull, transformative energy of the day and the dark shadow of the Scorpio. This Venus-Jupiter is like a star of hope conjunction. Could this be the change in our world for the better, finally? And maybe love, joy, and peace really can prevail now. And Venus and Jupiter together can bring abundance with grace and ease. And you won't have to strive, struggle, or work so hard to receive the blessings of this eclipse. Just let things come to you. At this 27 degrees of Pisces is where Venus and Jupiter will be having that lucky kiss. And wherever Pisces at 27 degrees shows up in your chart, you will have some sweet good fortune coming in on this eclipse day. And Venus conjunct Jupiter brings the harmony and happiness. Harmony and happiness in this time of chaos. This is a lucky star combination that you can watch in the early morning hours of April 30th before sunrise. You can't see this partial solar eclipse here in the Pacific Northwest, but you can watch Venus and Jupiter coming together for that sweet conjoining kiss. And I've been watching Venus as morning star connected to Mars for months and months, it seems like. And I'm so happy to see Venus is now hooking up with Jupiter, and it's a much better relationship. And I have so much to say about this Venus-Jupiter conjunction in Pisces. I just decided to make it a separate video, so you have to check that one out too. And I just want to go back to the eclipse now. The eclipses are all about our destiny. And if you happen to have that North Node in Taurus or Scorpio, as I said, the destiny will be knocking on your door this year. And you better answer, because there's some big changes coming, whether you open the door or not. An eclipse can empower you if you align with the energy well, or it can devastate you if you're not paying attention. So this is when it is good to get your chart read, so you know what is coming and how to handle it, depending where you have Taurus and Scorpio showing up in your astrology chart is where it can affect you. So perhaps you have it showing up in your 4th house of houses. It could affect your home. If you have it in your career, it could affect your career, or in your relationships. So my example of my Aquarius North Node, I moved to Bend quite suddenly during the year of that major total solar eclipse on the Leo Aquarius axis that was happening right here in Oregon. Only to learn that Bend is an Aquarius town and my North Node is Aquarius. So how's that for aligning with my destiny? What was even funnier when I had my North Node was I didn't know as much about North Node astrology. I think a lot of astrologers skip the North Node, when in fact that is your soul's greatest mission. A lot of people know Saturn return, sure, that's great. But the North Node is like your reason to be here. It is why your soul chose this life lesson. And so it is really the most poignant part of the whole astrology chart. Now I always like to include North Nodes when I do people's readings because it's so significant. But when I came to Bend and I was having my North Node, I didn't know that much about North Nodes, and I just synchronistically signed up for a North Node astrology workshop. It was a 4-day workshop in Bend, and the teacher used me as an example because of course I was in the middle of my North Node and we were having this eclipse. There was a lot of astrology coming to Oregon because we were in an eclipse right here that was happening right here in Central Oregon. And that probably was what made me fall in love with North Node astrology so much. But if you are a Taurus or a Scorpio, or you have your North Node in Taurus Scorpio, the way that you can align with the energy of this eclipse is to just listen for little synchronistic guidances, like go over here, take this workshop. You don't know why, but you just listen for the call of spirit guiding you on what to do, where to go, who to talk to, why am I taking this class, I don't know. But just go with the flow and let spirit lead, and you will align with your destiny of where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to be doing next. That is my greatest advice. And this is going to be, this first partial solar eclipse in Taurus is going to be landing at 22 degrees of Taurus. So wherever Taurus is at 22 degrees in your chart, that's where you want to look to see where this eclipse is going to affect you. That is right opposite my Scorpio. So they say if the eclipse, like if you're a Scorpio, the eclipse when it's happening in your opposite nodal axis, like Taurus is opposite of Scorpio, it can cause health issues. So that's something to just pay attention to. I'm going to be really monitoring my health. I probably wouldn't go skydiving on this eclipse because it's like, maybe I don't want to do anything that could risk my health when the eclipse is against my sign like that. But finding out that 22 degrees, and I really want to read the Sabian symbol for the 22 degrees where this eclipse is happening in Taurus. And it is so hopeful for me. I think it's so hopeful as a sign of peace. The Sabian symbol, remember these are symbols that were intuited by Elsie Wheeler, and she is an oracle, and they gave her every single degree of the zodiac, and it would be like, what does this degree mean? And she would just intuit a message, and she did this over 100 years ago, but I swear to God, these symbols are so beautiful, and they always are so perfect for the time, and this one is no exception. So Taurus, 22 degrees, is a white dove flying over troubled waters. And this is so funny because just as we were today walking here, there's this bridge at the Metolius. It's a beautiful bridge over the water, and I actually had that song in my head. I had that bridge over troubled waters. Is that Paul Simon? Anyways, I might have to put that song in here because that is a gorgeous song. So that's what this Sabian symbol is. A white dove flying over troubled waters. And the spiritual inspiration that comes to an individual in the overcoming of crisis. It's Scorpio, Scorpio rising from the ashes as the phoenix, right? A spiritual inspiration coming from an individual who has overcome a crisis. A symbol of guidance, this dove flying over troubled waters reminds one of Noah and the ark, where Noah met his and mankind's crisis courageously and in complete obedience to God's promptings. The test was completed. He received the dove's message from the Holy Spirit, announcing a new dispensation. And this symbolic scene can be applied to personal crisis, resulting from emotional upheavals or from the eruption of unconscious forces and impulses into the conscious. If the crisis has been faced in the right spirit, there will be peace. And there will be a reward to the faithful. Whew. When I think of faithful, I also think of Jupiter too, in that Jupiter-Venus conjunction. So we have sun and moon on this new moon. Remember, this eclipse is happening on the new moon, Taurus. So the sun and moon are at 10 degrees of Taurus for this eclipse. And when both the sun and moon meet at that 10 degrees, it's calling for big change for our world and Taurus rules the earth. And Taurus at 10 degrees is, the Sabian symbol is a Red Cross nurse. And the compassionate linking together of all men. Aren't we really seeing that right now? There's so much altruism, so much compassion, so much people coming together for the betterment of our world. This symbol reveals the feeling of human cooperation and compassion at the stage of pure altruism and service to the social whole. Amen. Do we need that? On that foundation of a Christ love, agape, or true companionship, man can reach a still higher level of experience, made possible by the refinement of the substance of his being, his consciousness, and his will. And this goes beyond imagination and faith in the future, beyond our Christmas tree celebrations, for it implies going into the darkest dark. Whew. That's Scorpio, the darkest Scorpio, to bring life and love to the tormented and the deprived. What is finally open is new potentiality. We see a widow before an open grave. This just really makes me think of everything we're seeing happening in Ukraine right now, and how did Elsie Wheeler know? And the closing symbol of the preceding sequence, personal attachment and love to a husband or wife, has changed the level, becoming a consecration of humanity. And this is just so poignant for this time, and I might be just a little addicted to Sabian symbols right now because these messages are so aligned to the times, wouldn't you say? So now I just gotta read one more. I gotta read the 27 degrees of Pisces. And remember, that's where Venus gets together and kisses Jupiter on this day as a little star of hope and faith And let's see what Elsie Wheeler says about 27 degrees of Pisces. This is a critical point. When you get 27 degrees is really close to 29 degrees, which is the last degree. 29 degrees of Pisces is the very last degree in the whole Sabian symbols. And that's where 29 degrees of Pisces is where you see the rainbow light coming through the prism. And that is like the rainbow bridge to forever. But 27 degrees is about the harvest moon, illuminating a clear autumn sky. And the light of fulfillment that will bless work well done. That's so sweet, and it so ties into, like, that's what that Jupiter-Venus conjunction is about. It's about the work you've already done, the good karmic deeds you've already done, and now you're being rewarded. The light of fulfillment that blesses the work well done. And for astronomical reasons, the full moon of early autumn, that harvest moon, appears larger than all other moons. In our temperate northern hemisphere, there are days when the green of summer fields and woods have turned gold and warm brown. Days for reaping the harvest. And if it has all gone well, this symbol brings us a message that the time has come for us to reap what we have sown. And the key word here is consummation. But in this consummation, this karmic moment, the seed of this new cyclical manifestation is already latent. What can bring a latent seed to life? It's rain. We need rain in the Pacific Northwest so bad. And this is a time for us to be praying for that rain here in Oregon, where I live in Central Oregon. We have the biggest wildfire risk of all time. They're saying that we're the center of what they're worried about for wildfires. So time to pray for rain if you live in Oregon. Anyways, this is a time to pray for rain. This consummation with a latent seed is all about fertility. And this could be a good moon to get pregnant or to plant seeds for whatever you want to grow. Even if you think, oh, I was going to do that thing, but it's kind of a latent seed now. I never really did it. You procrastinated. COVID came. You never got to do the thing. It's time. This rebirth, this beautiful rebirth energy that we're having with this eclipse portal opening now on this April 30th day. It's time to get out those latent seeds from the cupboard. You know, the thing you wanted to do but you didn't do because COVID came and ruined everything. Now we can pull up those latent seeds. We can do the thing. We can make it happen. We can grow something out of nothing again. And that is the hope of this eclipse cycle. And with this magical eclipse, it's time to gather together any eggs you froze. If you were trying to make a baby, this is a good time. I would use this moon, this eclipse, maybe to try to have a baby again and do the fertility treatments. And there's just so much birth, life, death, transformation, rebirth. Anything is possible as we step into the eclipse portal that is Taurus, Scorpio, and we begin this incredibly transformative journey. Every eclipse portal is transformative, but when the sign is about transformation, well, hold on to your hat. We're really gonna, we're not in Kansas anymore. We're really gonna go through a serious transformation this summer. And when I was doing this report, I had this beautiful piece of writing. It just jumped out of me from somebody that I follow on social media. Her name's Jeanette Inseñas, and I have to read this because it just fits so well. And she says, don't abandon yourself. Not when you're sick, not when you're tired, not when you've lost the thread, the thought, or the thing you thought defined you. Because you will die many times in one life and create yourself anew. This is natural. This is a gift. I've died a few times now here in this world. The person I was, gone. Throw that older skin into the waters. Give it to the sky. Step into what wants to emerge now. Nothing can hold you back when you are willing to be yourself. And I just love that. Oh, it's such a beautiful writing for these times. Throw it all away and just be willing to surrender to the process, to be completely reborn this year with this potent rebirth eclipse portal that is open now on April 30th. And I just feel like everyone watching this could really use some distance Reiki right now. So I am going to send distance Reiki to each and every one of you through the power of quantum healing. I can send this distance energy from right here in the beautiful Metolius River. I'm going to spend some time here. I'm going to send some energy. If you have something in particular you want me to distance Reiki, just write it in the comments and I will send you more Reiki after I've read your comments. And I'm a Reiki master teacher, and I've just been doing so much distance Reiki, especially in the past 2 years. I've had so many clients going through so many struggles, of course because of COVID, but I am seeing, maybe it's just a Scorpio thing. I feel like Scorpios, we see more death and destruction than most people. I've known so many people who've died in my lifetime. Some of my other friends are like, well, you have a lot of people who've died. But I just did a Bridge of Light for one of my clients whose father was in hospice, and I just had to share this story as we're talking about Scorpio death, destruction, South Node. And he was in his final days, and you can send a Bridge of Light. It's a beautiful ceremony you can do. You send distance Reiki, and you just ask that this Bridge of Light be made so when the person is ready, that their passing will be swift and pain-free, and that they will be reunited with everyone they've ever loved and everyone who's ever loved them, and that they will meet their guides who take them to the place they are going, and that it's all filled with love and light. And I have done probably well over 1,000 bridges of light. I did a Bridge of Light for my own mother when she passed, and I've done it for animals. My son and I will do it for roadkill. I mean, it's just a really great ceremony. Anytime somebody's crossing over, you can just give a Bridge of Light as this gift to help their passing be swift and pain-free, and that will all be filled with a healing light. And I was sending this, and I really got a sense of this woman's father. It was like he was right in the room with me. And he was telling me about this hat. You got to tell her about the hat. And he has this very Irish name, but I definitely got a sense that it was this Irish hat. But I didn't want to tell my client, like, it's an Irish hat. He's obsessed about this Irish hat. I thought, well, when your name is very Irish, that I just didn't throw in the Irish part, but I just let her know. I go, your dad was telling me about a hat, and this hat was really important to him. And lo and behold, his friend who had just passed a few months before had given him this beautiful hat full of 4-leaf clovers and said, you know, this hat will help you cross over. And he was really obsessed about the hat and making sure that his daughter kept the hat because it meant so much to him. And then he was telling me about the hat, and she confirmed, and she sent me a picture of him in this hat with the 4-leaf clovers. It's so beautiful. I love this work. I love Reiki so much. I've been doing Reiki for 24 years now, and I can't tell you all the little daily Reiki miracles, but I'm currently writing a book about Reiki, and so just in the process of writing all about Reiki, it's really making me, I'm having a rebirth moment of my own, where I just want to do more Reiki, and I want to give more distance Reiki, and I really want to experiment with giving all of you who are watching this distance Reiki energy, and just seeing how we can work with that quantum energy field. Can you feel it? Can you sense it when I'm sending distance Reiki to the people who are watching? So feel free to let me know if there's anything you personally want me to distance Reiki to. I am like being the straw. In Reiki, I talk about being the straw, just letting the energy come through you and bringing it out to others. And the more you give, the more energy you receive with Reiki. I honestly believe it. So I am giving freely this month of my Reiki energy. And I thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. You're going to want to know about that Scorpio total lunar eclipse. I'm a little scared myself as a Scorpio, like, whoa, what's that going to bring? But I can't wait to read every part of this eclipse portal. So you'll want to stay tuned. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.